want to acknowledge the strength and resilience it's taken to get here. You've sacrificed, you've adapted, and you've loved fiercely. Loved fiercely. And now, as your children prepare to leave the nest, there's opportunity for you to step into a new role, the role of someone who puts herself first. Welcome to the very first episode of Nest to Next, her new chapter, the podcast dedicated to moms like you and me who are preparing for a major life transition as children leave the nest. I'm Lisa Scholl, and I'm thrilled you've joined me today. This podcast is for you and me, the women who have spent years, maybe decades, putting others always first. You've been everything to everyone: caretaker, nurturer, provider, protector, chef, chauffeur. I'm tired now, but a new chapter is opening, and I want you to know it's okay. It's more than okay to start thinking about you. And actually, we need to start planning now. Whether you're a single mom or a married mom, many of us have lost sight of ourselves, and many not even know who we are, what we want in life, and how to get it back. So, why am I starting this podcast? Because I have become exactly what I just described. In my case, I've had sole custody for almost a decade and apparently, well, absolutely lost sight of who I am as a person, as a woman. I mean, hell, I haven't even dated in over 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. It could be even longer, but I've had a couple dates, but then if we want to see each other again, okay, how about April or September 9th, 2027? Like, it's that crazy. And also confirmed, this is a story that happened just last week of how I've lost myself, don't even know who I am. So my youngest is a sophomore in high school, and all of her friends, well, not all, but many are driving now. Yay! So she asked if her friend could take her to her first day of school. And I was like, yeah, oh, let's go. Anyway, so she was picked up at 6:50 in the morning. I did not see that girl until 8:30 that night. So, well, with that, my son was also out of the house. He's 19. Anyway, I'm sitting there realizing, oh my gosh, like I have 4 hours by myself. Like what do I do? So I literally sat there. I'm like, what do I want to do? I couldn't even, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I ended up freaking cleaning and doing work. Loser. Anyway, that is one of the reasons I realized at that moment, oh my God, I got to figure something out because I literally only have 2 or 3 years, like max. And then they're going to be gone and I'm going to be with, they're my loves. I've got two dogs, 95-pound Newfie Doodle and a 10-pound Havanese. He's an asshole. But yeah, so I'm going to have all the time in the world in a couple of years from now. I know the thought of an empty house might bring mixed emotions: pride in your children for launching into the world, but also sadness, fear, even a bit confusion. What now? Who are you without the rhythm of motherhood that's been your life for so long? This series is all about helping you and myself, rediscover yourself, explore new dreams, and start putting yourself first again, just as you deserve. Let's take a moment to honor the journey that brought you here. You've been doing so much for so many for so long. You've navigated the tough waters of motherhood, juggling work, household duties, school events, doctor appointments. I just can't wait to share some stories. The list goes on. Through it all, you've probably had a little time to focus on yourself. Your identity might feel wrapped up in being a mom, leaving little space for you as a person. I want to acknowledge the strength and resilience it's taken to get here. You've sacrificed, you've adapted, and you've loved fiercely. Loved fiercely. And now, as your children prepare to leave the nest, there's opportunity for you to step into a new role, the role of someone who puts herself first. So, what can you expect from Nest to Next? Quite honestly, I have no clue. For the episodes I do have planned, we're going to explore different aspects of the transition. We'll talk about rediscovering yourself beyond the role of mom, setting new goals for your future, nurturing your personal growth, and even the practical side of planning your financial and career future. However, I want this to be interactive. I want to put content out there that's important to you guys. So I can see this podcast including other topics depending on what you guys come up with. I want this podcast to be both a guide and a source of inspiration. You're not alone in this journey. So many women are going through the same thing, and together we'll learn, grow, and embrace this new chapter with open arms. So, again, I plan to get personal, bring value to you with guest speakers, action items, a new community promoting growth, laughter, tears, with an outcome of all of us reinventing ourselves and getting what we want in this new chapter of our lives together. Change can be exciting, but it can also be very overwhelming when when you've been in the role of a single mom or mom for so long. It's hard to imagine what life will be without that daily demands of motherhood. Like, there are days I don't even think I sat down. And again, I know you guys know, but the key to this transitioning is giving yourself permission to dream. What do you want your life to look like in the next few years? What passions or hobbies have you put on hold? Now is the time to start thinking about these questions, because there are things that may require time to get going. For example, since I started thinking, like, I'm going to do this podcast, started thinking, what do I want to do? So I've decided I'm going to win regional, actually national pickleball competitions. The only thing is I don't know how to play. I've never played before. So I'm going to have to enroll in some lessons. It's going to take some time for me to get good enough to start winning these. But you don't have to figure everything out overnight. But by beginning the process now while your children are still home, you'll be ready to embrace that future when it comes. It's time to think about what makes you happy. And it's okay. It's okay to want it. In fact, it's necessary. So here's what I'd love for you to do this week: take out a journal or voice memos and reflect on how you feel about this upcoming change. And again, some of you may have not even realized that it's 2 years, 3 years max, they're out. But write down what excites you, what scares you. This reflection will be the foundation as we move through this journey together. And thank you for joining me for the first step towards figuring out what's next in your new chapter. Next week, we'll dive into the importance of self-reflection and how to start rediscovering who you are beyond the role of mom. Until then, remember, this is your time and you deserve every moment of it.